Soviet leader Gorbachev appears to be directing an increased public relations campaign toward the West, most notably his meeting with the Senate delegation and that exclusive interview with Time magazine. With us now in our New York bureau, Nikolai Setounski. He's the New York bureau chief of the official Soviet news agency TASS. Welcome to the CNN International Hour. Is it true that your leader is conducting a public relations campaign aimed at the West in general and the United States in particular?
No, it's true that now we faced some of the very important but rather routine events. The interview for Times magazine and the meeting with the US senators, and this happened with many Soviet leaders before, so I don't think we can characterize what is happening now as a kind of public relations campaign.
Well, do you regard it as just coincidental then?
It's just happened that the US senators delegation went to the Soviet Union. If they went there to participate in some kind of Soviet public relations campaign, that's okay with me.
Did you hear the remarks made by Georgia Senator Sam Nunn when he said that obviously the Reagan administration in this country wants to downplay expectations about the summit between President Reagan and General Secretary Gorbachev? But Mr. Nunn went on to say in this news conference just carried live by CNN a few moments ago that Gorbachev and the Kremlin are trying to portray the Reagan administration as not being serious, not wanting to get down to business at the upcoming summit.
Well, unfortunately, we would like to upgrade expectations as far as summit meeting is concerned, and we are in a very serious, the Soviet Union is in a very serious preparation for this event, very important event, and we hope that it will be a constructive and productive and positive dialogue. And it is not the Soviet media or the Soviet side which downgrades the expectations. I believe that some of the steps of this Washington administration might be characterized as downgrading those expectations.
Well, Mr. Setounski, I'm sure you're aware that the White House is concerned that people not expect a lot out of a meeting that's happening in a relatively short time, that much groundwork needs to be laid. The issues are so serious that it's going to take more than a couple months to reach an agreement between both sides. I'm sure you understand that that is the attitude of the White House, that the White House is not downgrading the importance of the meeting between your leader and President Reagan. You couldn't possibly be thinking that, could you?
Well, I wish it was so, but on the other hand, some of the specific concrete statements and decisions of this administration which were made recently, like testing of Assad system and some other events like this mysterious spy dust phenomena, you know, in my judgment, do not contribute to the idea of creating the proper climate for the summit. I understand that it's complicated problems which face both sides, and I understand that not everything might be settled before or even during the summit, but what is important in my judgment is just to contribute to the positive and fruitful climate to go ahead with this summit. And unfortunately, as I see it, some of the specific deeds of the administration is something opposite.
Mr. Setounski, when will President Reagan have access to Soviet citizens the way Chairman Gorbachev has in this country?
Well, I think that generally speaking, President Reagan has a certain access to the Soviet people. We report about Mr. Reagan's speeches and statements and press conferences. I mean, we, the TASS correspondents and other Soviet correspondents based in the United States, and of course, those Soviet citizens who listen to the American broadcasting can hear the Mr. Reagan's broadcasting on Saturday and so on. As to what you think might be a kind of comparison to what Time magazine made, I think that
my question, sir, was,
Americans should take into consideration that there are different cultures and different habits and different customs in our two societies and our two countries. The fact that Mr. Reagan, for example, didn't have an interview with Pravda correspondent. Has nothing to do with his personality, I understand. He is not an exception in this case. We simply don't have this practice. Neither the leaders of the socialist countries usually do those things, and I don't see why there should be some kind of exception for the U.S. president. On the other hand, I am not running the Soviet TV or the Soviet magazines. I think that if they are interested, it might happen. When? I don't know.
Thank you for answering the question. Nikolai Setounski, the New York bureau chief of the official Soviet news agency TASS.